Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about our embroidery technology that we have in our Orange City and Marcus facility plants. This is Cindy, the operator today, and she's actually just going to start another load of embroidery, and we'll watch this run and we'll just walk you through the process. So watch this run for just a second. Every time a design starts as we embroider it, we've created a digitized file. We've taken the artwork, and that's the actual item that we're going to try to turn into stitches. And we've created a machine file that runs on an XY axis movement, so we have to take and place each one of these stitches with that piece of artwork to create this machine file. So we'll go ahead and let this sew for a little bit. Watch Cindy do some of the other processes. So Cindy's doing what we call hooping, or she's physically affixing this hoop that we need so we can affix that into the piece of equipment. This allows us, one, to be able to embroider with high quality, and two, be able to put it in the same spot on every garment that we embroider. The backings that she's going to place down, she'll do that here in just a second. This happens to be a cutaway, and then we're also putting a mesh product. The mesh product helps mitigate the deflection of the needle as it's sewing. We're actually going to sew this design at somewhere around 800 stitches a minute, so it's going to be a very fast action to that needle, and as it's going through the fabric, it'll actually want to try to deflect, so this product allows us to minimize that. Cindy's marked out on the board where exactly we want the design to fall on the garment. This one happens to be a left chest, and she's marked that on her board so she knows how far to pull the collar forward and to get the design in the correct place. You can see on this machine we're running at about 800 stitches per minute. We're about 1,500 stitches into this design. Most designs, left chest, have between 5,000 and 7,000 stitches, although a design could be anywhere from 1,000 stitches up to 100,000 stitches. See how our logo is coming. We're actually sewing the new Staples logo today. So we're just finishing up what we call a field. It's a stitch that allows us it's a run stitch that allows us to cover a large amount of area with the fewest amount of stitches. We want to try to keep the hand of the embroidery as soft as possible. So for us, this allows us to do that. You can see by the piece of equipment that we're using, it's called Embroidery. Embroidery's definitely the highest end embroidery equipment out there on the market. We have around 500 heads overall in all of our factories of embroidery. You can see this machine is a 15 needle, so it allows us to put up 15 colors at a time. You can also see these tubes that the thread has to go down through, tensioning discs, tension bars, and ultimately to the needle. So changing threads is time consuming and difficult, so we actually schedule our embroidery workload based on thread color. We look for what machines have certain colors of thread on them and try to schedule that way. You can see by this part of the design, each time the machine needs to stop and trim, it has to slow down, stop, make that trim, and then go on to the next part of the design. This is the staple that it's sewing. Again, sewed understitching to minimize any distortion of the logo. Circles are one of the hardest things to keep perfectly. And we're just sewing the actual staple itself. Going to finish up with a trademark, and then this design will be completed. Once we've completed these, Cindy will actually pull those out of the machine, and we'll take them over into an inspection process where we'll clean them up, steam them, bag them, and they'll be ready for sale. Thank you.